Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Good evening. Welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. I'm happy to be back with you. I hope that you enjoyed the time that you had with my guest hostess. She had a blast being with you, and I'm sure that she did a wonderful job and you enjoyed her hostessing. But I'm back. For those of you that didn't know, I've been out a little bit of sick leave and I'm all better now. Today I have a really, really great show for you. Our guest has been here before. The last time he was here, he came with another one of our favorite guests, Kristen Graves. And this time he's here by himself, and he's here to just entertain you with all the wonderful music that he plays. He does originals, he does covers, and he does it all with perfection and grace. And I just want you to help me welcome into your home, Glenn Roth.
Thanks so much, Dot. It's great to be back in your attic here. Thanks for having me back. And thanks to all your viewers for tuning in today to this program. Hope you guys enjoy some of my music. This is a new song called Under a Western Sky. so much, guys. So that's a new song of mine, Under a Western Sky. And I just returned from a nice tour, my annual Deja Vu tour, I call it. And Dot and I will talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But I just returned from a Midwestern tour of Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and New Mexico. So it's good to be back here in Connecticut now. And this next tune is a song off of my Welcome Home CD. And this is a song of mine called Another Dimension. Got to get in tune for your viewers out there. Here goes. Thank you so much, guys. A song of mine called Another Dimension. I'm hearing a little music in my monitor here. Not sure where that's coming from, but got some nice music coming out of there. All right. So yeah, that last piece, I was just in Kansas in a place called Winfield, Kansas, where I competed in the International Fingerstyle Guitar Championships, the World Championships of Finger Picking Guitar. And that was one of the songs I played this year. And it was a great experience. It always is. It's my 8th year competing, and I was a finalist once, and I hope to take the title one day. So you have to keep returning, you know, it's like the lottery. You can't win unless you play, right? All right. This next tune's a song I wrote many years back. This one's called Ghost Train. Oh, nice. It's silent down there. Thank you, guys. Here we go. All you viewers out there, this one's called Ghost Train. All right, thanks, guys. Hope you viewers are enjoying this concert. I know the camera crew. I'm seeing their reactions, and hope you guys are reacting the same way out there in the real world. All right, guys. Guess we're in the real world right now. We're in Grandma's attic.
We're in Grandma's attic.
That's right.
Nothing wrong about that.
That's right. So a special gig I've had over the last 14 years is being a professional busker down in the New York City subway system. And I've been a part of a program called Music Under New York, where I auditioned for that back in 2004. And I was accepted in, and I was granted the lifetime permit to perform in and around the New York City train stations. So that's been an amazing experience over the last 14 years. And if you guys want to learn more about that, check out my YouTube channel, Glenn Roth, and check out my web series called Busker TV. And you guys can come along on many journeys that I've had down there. I've done 49 different episodes. So go and take your pick of which day you'd like to experience down in the New York City subway systems. This next tune I started writing one day when I was down at the Grand Central Shuttle. It's turned into a space journey in my mind. This one's called Shuttle to the End of the Universe. Thank you so much, guys. Song of mine called Shuttle to the End of the Universe. All right. Got time for a few more tunes before I sit down and talk with Dot over there. Looking forward to our conversation. But before that, got a few more songs. So this is a song I wrote for a Moroccan-themed Christmas party that I was hired to go play at, and they asked me to play some Moroccan music. I ended up writing this tune. It's kind of a Spanish-sounding song that I call Moroccan Christmas. Hope you guys enjoy. All you viewers out there, you guys could listen to this song and many of my other music on Spotify. Just look me up on that platform, and it really benefits the artists when you listen to our music out there. So this is a song called Moroccan Christmas. Thank you guys. Song of mine called Moroccan Christmas. All right, I think I got time for one more tune, right?
Yeah.
A nice long epic song, right? So yeah, when I'm not arranging my own music and writing for myself, I love to arrange, awesome pop rock covers, anything that could just translate to instrumental guitar. I love to try to attempt. And this next song I arranged, took me a few years to arrange this one, and I'd like to dedicate this one to Dot.
Thank you, darling.
And thanks for having me back, Dot. Always great to be in the attic with you and your crew. This is a song called Bohemian Rhapsody by the great Freddie Mercury and Queen. Hope you guys enjoy this.
my gosh, that was amazing.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
So that now, hi, Glenn is going to come and sit with me and talk. And while he's getting ready to come over, I want to remind you that there are just a whole plethora of galleries in the downtown New London area that you really should be checking out. I hate to remind you that Christmas is coming, and one of the best gifts that you can give to someone that you love is some art that somebody else created. And if you give away art that somebody created and was sold in your community, the money stays in your community, the art stays in your community. It's just everything all the way around is all good stuff. You get the money, you get the gift for your loved one, you keep the money in the community, and you're supporting a local artist. These are all really wonderful things. And now, I'm going to talk to Glenn because that's what we're really all here for. Hi.
What's up,
I'm
Dad?
so glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me back.
Your music is just, it's so beautiful. I get moved to tears when I listen to beautiful music.
Well, I definitely-
And so I'm sitting over here weeping.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing, but it's hard.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it has an effect, and it definitely, that's a special thing about music in general, how it affects people, and I love to see people's reactions, and I love to hear about how people feel after they hear my music.
I love listening to your music. I have since the very first time I ever heard you play.
you.
And I love what you do with music.
Thank you.
Glenn, when did you start playing the guitar?
That's a good question. I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Back in 1982 or so. My mother got me a few guitar lessons, and then I ended up with one of my longtime teachers, a guy named John McCarthy from Rock House School of Music in West Haven, Connecticut.
Okay.
And I just did a show on Saturday where he put on a fundraiser, and I performed at his show, which really reminded me of my youth because he would have guitar recitals. And so it was like a real full circle type of event 30 years later.
Wow.
Hanging out with my teacher, John McCarthy. And
How cool is that?
Yeah, yes, it was very cool. So yeah, started when I was 7, and I've been, had lessons with John till I was about 15, and then went to University of New Haven, studied with Bob Semanchek,
Okay.
and then another classical teacher, the great Joe Tenari from East Haven. Yeah.
When you say classical, what made you go from rock and roll,
Yeah.
which is or even folk music,
Yeah.
to classical guitar, and especially finger style guitar? It's
Yeah.
not an everyday thing. It's not
Exactly.
something you hear all the time.
Exactly, yeah.
What made you go that way?
Well, I was in a band called Fountain Project back in the early 2000s. We were rocking a lot of electric and acoustic type music. And I always had a passion for instrumental guitar music, solo guitar. So around that time, I started studying a lot of jazz guitar. And then I decided to really take strict classical guitar lessons from Joe Tenari. And that really gave me a lot of insight on sight reading, arranging, just basically rounded me as a musician, that whole experience.
Yep.
And then, after seeing the great Tommy Emmanuel, one of my favorite guitar players, I saw him here at Connecticut College back in 2002.
Okay.
And that was like a real life-changing event. He's the master of the steel string acoustic. And, he really inspired me to follow this path. And ever since then, I've been, playing steel string acoustic. I really just like the tone of it, just kind of speaks to me.
It's gorgeous.
But I love nylon string as well, but just decided to sit with the steel string, for now. And but yeah, it is a different type of genre, very unique, and I feel very fortunate to do what I do today.
It's very listenable, and it's definitely music that you can put into your home and sit back and just enjoy it. And not just as background music, you can actually just sit and really absorb it when you sit and focus fully on what you're doing.
Thanks.
Where do your tunes come from? I know that you played most all originals today, except for Bohemian Rhapsody,
yeah.
which I went live with that.
That's good, I'm glad.
somebody called it sweet, and
Nice.
someone called it badass.
Oh, nice.
So
I like those.
those are great ways
Definitely.
to talk about it. But let's talk about your music. Where does
Yeah.
your music come from?
You know, I draw my influences from different places. A lot of, you know, experiences in my life end up being titles or, you know, or a certain feel for a song. But you know, it starts with the tuning actually. I experiment with a lot of different tunings on the guitar. So
Okay.
each song today had a different tuning, and they give me, it's just like painting on a different, gives you more options, and so that's where it starts with the tuning, and then the tuning kind of dictates the melodies that I write within
Really?
that tuning. Yeah, you know, I kind of just let it happen sometimes. I play and play. I look for shapes, and I'm searching around in the tuning just for the right melodies that really speak to me and that go, wow, I want to play this and I want to hear this melody, you know? So I've been writing a lot of new music recently, and it's some of it's due to the part that I've been in these different tunings, and it's just kind of inspiring me to explore in those tunings.
It's wonderful, and it's awesome that you bring forth such beautiful stuff in a different tune. I like that. I like that a lot. Do you have anybody that tells you, well, that really doesn't sound very good, or yeah, that sounds really, really good? Do you have people that tell you that, that actually step out of their comfort zone to tell you how you're playing?
My girlfriend Grace is a huge part of my career, very helpful, and always gives me insight, and you know, I trust her judgment. She's got a good ear for music, and yeah, you know, she typically likes what I play.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, she's pretty much the only one who gives me direct insight before it reaches the public.
Nice.
So, but yeah, most of it's just me kind of coming up with it and then bringing it out to the public, and then she experiences it that way as well, you know.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit about the underground music. We actually have another Grandma's Attic friend. His name is Ray Kurt Johnson.
Okay.
He's a fiddle player that was very instrumental in getting that whole project started.
Wow.
He was very involved with that, and it's nice that that project has turned into a way for people to bring music to the subway, to the train station. What makes it so important for music to be in that particular venue?
Yeah, well, you know, again, I feel fortunate to have the busking permit. My friend Wendy Gennady got me the audition back in 2004, and she was doing bookings for me and really helping me with my career, and got that going for me. And I think it's just a real special thing that needs to be down there. The subway, the train stations are very tense. Everyone's going through something different.
Yeah.
And it overall brings a nice, you know, peaceful vibe to the place. So when I go to Grand Central at 8 a.m. in the morning, I start playing for the commuters, and people are in a mood. You know, everyone's in a mood at around 8 a.m. So,
yeah, they are.
You know, some people are in good moods, some people aren't. So I just try to smooth it out and bring what I have to offer to the world, which is my music.
What do you find the overall response is to your music in the subway?
I think it's an overall good response. Yeah, people typically smile. I've made a lot of friends, a lot of people, you know, the regular people kind of take notice, but it's pretty much, you know, like a sea of people. It's thousands and thousands, and you know, I think of it as fishing sometimes. I'm musically fishing. I'm trying to grab onto their ear and drag them in.
Nice.
And when they turn around and come back and check my music out, I've caught one.
Do you find that your originals do that, or do you find that the covers do that more? Which does it more?
You have some great questions, Dot. Really, really great questions. Both of them, I mean, typically the covers bring people in, I think, you know, because they hear something familiar.
Yep.
They hear the Bohemian Rhapsody, wow, this is on solo guitar, or Dream On, or any of these other covers I do. And that could draw them in, but also the originals just as evenly, I think. People hear some nice acoustic guitar music, you know, and they're drawn in the same way. It just it depends on the listener, I think.
It's funny because the story behind my friendship with Ray Kurt is I heard him playing in the subway from the top of Capitol Hill.
Wow.
I was coming down Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., and I heard, but it was something from, it was Vivaldi.
Oh, nice.
And I heard it and caught it, and I had to find it. And I think that when I come into New York City, I listen now to see if I can find where the buskers are and what they're playing. And I think it's so wonderful to be able to find people that are playing, especially original music. I love original music. It's one of the things that I base my show on. I really like it when people come into Grandma's Attic and bring with them their heart and their soul. And that's what I think your original music is, your heart and your soul. And I feel blessed to be able to share that with the audience. You guys are out there and you get to listen to this really, really great music. What to you makes a song worth covering?
Well, it has to speak to me. You know, I have to really know it, first of all. Sometimes I don't. You know, sometimes people bring it to my attention. I start to learn it. I realize, wow, this is a really great song, and then I'll start to arrange it. But typically, I look for songs that I think are, you know, could really work well. Something about the song speaks to me and tells me, oh, you know, you could play that solo. And, you know, like there's a song, for instance, by a rock band called The Offspring.
Okay.
And I recently went to their concert. They have this song called Gone Away. It's very peaceful and mellow. Plays on piano. Typically, piano songs translate also really well to guitar music, where like Beatles music, all Beatles songs really translate well.
Okay.
But I've been compelled to arrange that song, so I've been working on that, and it's just, like I said, it just spoke to me at the concert. I said, wow, this would really, the melody was really catchy, and I have it arranged, so yeah.
Do you let bands know that you're going to cover their songs?
No, that's a good question. You know, I will cover The Offspring, and I will just give them credit, and you know, and I hope they see it, and I hope they enjoy.
That's very cool.
Yeah, right?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
What do you want your music to achieve in the long run? Where do you want your music to go or to take you?
Yeah. Well, I want it to go all over the world and into outer space.
Nice.
Eventually. And I want the music to take me all over the world. I love to travel, and with Grace, and we would love for the music to bring us all the way to Tokyo, Japan, for instance, one of my dream destinations.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Tokyo one day, hopefully. And I just want the music to be heard by the world. Yeah.
Nice.
I want it to go worldwide.
When you decide that you're going to compete in, say, the international finger playing,
Yes.
what drives you to do that, and what do you think their criteria are? You've been a finalist in this amazing competition,
Yes.
which is international, and people from all over the world come to compete in it.
Yes.
What drives you to compete against such great musicians?
Yeah, well, first of all, you know, when I first found out about it, fingerstyle competition, I was like, wow, you know, that's something right into what I'm doing, you know? So
Right.
that's where it started. And then I first went, and I go every year as a networking experience to meet all the players from all over the world. You know, I've become kind of a fixture there at the competition. A lot of the players know me, and I just like being there, being a part of it. And yeah, I mean, picking the songs each year is tricky. You just kind of have to follow what you think is right and play your best. And the judges actually are listening in a different building. So you play into a microphone in front of a crowd of about 200 people. It's completely silent. You can't say anything. Play into the mic, and you hope you make it to the finals and get to play again. And then you hope to win the grand prize, which are a few beautiful different guitars, and
Nice.
there's a nice cash prize as well. So,
Well, that's nice.
and it's just, you know, it's part of, you know, my career. I want to be there, and I hope to win one day to really, you know, to catapult my career higher.
Absolutely. Are you by any chance working on anything in the recording studio?
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to be heading down in one of my favorite places, Firehouse 12 in New Haven, with Greg DeCrosta. And yeah, I'll be working on a lot of new music soon and a bunch of cover tunes that I'll be putting out on Spotify each month. And that's kind of a new thing, a new way of the way the music industry is working now, is the Spotify is real big. It's kind of like how Facebook crept into social media. Spotify is creeping into every musician's life, and so I've gotten some of my music on some popular playlists, and it's done really well. So I'm happy to see what happens out there. You know.
Now, when do you think that your recording will be coming out?
Well, I just released a jazz CD called Jazzed of different jazz standards, and that new music will be coming out in the coming months. You know, by Christmas time at least. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I would be excited to get that and play it on my radio
Yes,
show.
you will definitely
That's
get
just
some.
a little hint.
All right.
That's just a little hint.
No, you'll definitely get a copy. You'll definitely, you always not, always.
I love it when I get to take new, original, and beautiful music and put it out over the air for people.
Yeah.
It's such a thrill for me to be able to do that, especially when it's someone as local and as wonderful as
Thanks.
you are.
Well, it means a lot to us artists, people like you who could get. You guys are the people who get the music out. So.
I'm sure it does. It's one of the things that's hard about radio nowadays is things like Spotify.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a DJ. It's kind of a whole computerized thingamajig. And another thing that isn't on Spotify is vinyl.
Yes.
And I love playing vinyl. So if you ever decide to put some vinyl out with your, I'd be totally into that.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
I would like to do some vinyl one day. I've never done that. Yeah.
Just analog is just a totally different sound than digital.
Yeah.
It's for people that have the ear. If you don't really have an ear for it, you probably don't catch it. You know the difference.
I know there's different quality.
The depth.
Yeah.
The depth and the layering. It's just a different thing. When you're planning to play out, what is your favorite kind of crowd? Do you like being the background music, or do you like people that sit down in the front and just listen?
Yeah, well, I'm very versatile. I like to joke around that I'm a professional background musician.
Nice.
And I do many gigs like that. You know, I'm a musician. I got to move around. I got to make my living. So I do a lot of restaurant gigs, which I really enjoy. I do a lot of private parties. But my favorite gig is to play for listening room crowds. You know, house concerts are my favorite. When I get a crowd, just like your crew right here, everyone's sitting.
Aren't they fabulous?
Everyone's listening. It's there's no subway cars, there's no announcements, no one's talking. You know, I like to see people really looking. And nowadays with the cell phones, and you get a lot of people just looking. You could look out and see a whole crowd just looking at their phones.
Right.
So it really means a lot when you look out and you see them really looking up at you. Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing.
But yeah, definitely that
So
kind of crowd.
what happens every time that I do a show is I run out of time.
Yeah.
Could you please quickly give people the platforms that they
Yes.
can find you on, and then can you take us out with a song?
I will. You guys can visit me at glenroth.com, Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter. Catch me live in Connecticut coming up soon. I'll be at Best Video with my main man, Frank Critelli. And
That's right. I love him.
This December with Hiroyo Sakamoto in New Haven at Mactivity. That's going to be my final show of 2018, so be there.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to take you out, Dot.
Absolutely. Thank you
Thank you,
so
Dot.
much. Thank you so much. So Glenn's going to go over and get ready and take us out with a song. I want to remind you that the cooler months are coming, and it would be really great if you would check on your neighbors, especially your elderly neighbors and your neighbors with children. It's really important for us to take care of our community. It's important for us to take care of the people that we live closest to and make sure that they have food and heat and the necessities, the bare necessities. And as the weather gets cooler, please make sure that you're checking on your animals and not leaving them out in the really cold weather and not leaving them out in the rain. I've seen animals out running around in the last few days in the really bad rain that we've had. Please keep an eye on your pets and keep an eye on your neighbors. Make sure that you support your community, the community that we all live in. I love you all. I'll see you next week. Until then, bye-bye and have a great week.